What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am D-WIZZLE and today we're going to be talking some Ghostbusters. We're going to review every Ghostbusters movie, including Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is going to be in theaters in a couple of weeks. But we're going to begin with the one that started it all, the original Ghostbusters that came out in 1984, directed by Ivan Reitman and written by Dan Aykroyd, who also stars in the film. So I think it's fair to say that Ghostbusters is such a phenomena when it comes to pop culture and movies and stuff like that. Like, it's beloved by so many people. With me, Ghostbusters is before my time. It came out before I was born, so I wasn't really able to grow up with it when it first came out. But apparently I was still late to the Ghostbusters hype because, funny story with me, the first time I found out about Ghostbusters was in elementary school, actually. I forget what grade I was in. But during class, we would have quiet time so we could work on assignments or stuff like that. And the teacher would play music while we're working. And during Halloween, we would have a whole bunch of Halloween themed music playing. And one of the songs was the Ghostbusters theme. And I remember when that song came on, everyone would sing to it. You guys know how the song goes. I'm sure everyone knows how the song goes. There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who are you gonna call? And then all the kids would shout, Ghostbusters! And I'm over here like, Ghostbusters? Wait. What is Ghostbusters? Why am I the only one who doesn't know what that is? How does everyone know? Everyone's singing along to the song. What's going on? So that's the first time I found out about Ghostbusters. And then I wasn't really able to watch it until, I don't know, maybe like a couple weeks later. It came on TV. So that's pretty much how I found out about most of these films, is on TV. So I ended up seeing it on television and I'm like, yes, finally I can see what everyone's, everyone knows about, Ghostbusters. I can finally find out what everyone else knows about it. I'm excited to see what it is. Ghostbusters sounds pretty cool. The song was really cool. So I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to see how this movie is. And I remember the first time I watched it on TV, I really liked it. I thought it was really enjoyable. And then rewatching it recently, my opinion still is the same. I really enjoyed the original Ghostbusters. I have to say that this is such a unique concept for a film. I don't see a lot of movies replicating what Ghostbusters did. And of course we see like shows and horror movies that do like supernatural stuff where people will go into haunted houses and stuff like that to see if there's any entities roaming around, or people talk about cursed antiques and stuff like that. But like Ghostbusters really exaggerates that concept. But what really makes this movie work is the cast. The cast is so good all around. Like, you have Bill Murray, you have Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson, the late Harold Ramis. May he rest in peace. Like, this whole cast, is just selling this goofy, over-the-top concept, and they're having fun with it. First of all, let's go through the main Ghostbusters. Of course, we have Dan Aykroyd playing Ray Stantz. He also wrote the film as well. He, I would say, is the heart of the Ghostbusters. He's the one that really brings the band together. He's the one that really believes in this, hunting ghosts and paranormal stuff. Like, he's really into this stuff, and it's like he's the one that helps round the gang all together. And then also with the late Harold Ramis playing Egon Spangler. Like, he's the really smart one of the group. Like antisocial type of smart. Like, he's really intelligent, but he's not really great at socializing with people. He's all about his work. But he ends up being really endearing as well, and he does have some funny moments too. So those two really, they're the ones that actually, buy into all the ghosts and stuff like that. Like, they're the ones that know about all the different paranormal stuff, and they're the ones that create the technology and stuff like that. So yeah, they're really good. And then we get to Bill Murray. Oh my God, Bill Murray as Peter Venkman. Um, Honestly, he's the best part of the movie. Like he's so great. Like he's also a professor at a university, or a former professor at university. But his character you wouldn't expect to like so much, because he's a womanizer, he's narcissistic, he takes advantage of people, but he still ends up being so likable. He still has a heart of gold. That's the one thing that makes him so enjoyable to watch. Other than the fact that he's so funny. But what really brings him around as a character, even though you know how much of a narcissist he is, he still has that heart of gold. You still feel like he cares for people, and that's what I really liked about Peter Venkman in this movie. And he's also the odd. He's the odd man out of the Ghostbusters, or one of them, because he's the one that doesn't really believe in some of the paranormal stuff. Like he's the outsider looking in. He's almost like the audience's point of view with all these ghosts popping up. Like he doesn't know everything that's going on. And then we have Ernie Hudson as Winston Zedmore. He's the new recruit of the Ghostbusters. He comes in about halfway through the movie. He doesn't get as much development as the previous three Ghostbusters, but I still thought he was a really good addition to the team. He's also the person that seems like he's the audience's point of view even more than Peter Venkman. Like he doesn't know anything about ghosts, and he's not a professor or anything. He's just a regular guy trying to get a job.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
And I pretty much like his reactions to stuff whenever like paranormal stuff happening. Like he has a really natural reaction when it comes to all these ghosts appearing, and I find that also really funny. And he also brings like a realistic dynamic to the team. Like he gives like a regular guy's point of view when it comes to all this paranormal stuff happening. So I thought he was really good. And then we have Annie Potts as Janine. I thought she was pretty good. She's the secretary of the Ghostbusters. She takes all the calls and stuff like that, and I think she handles some of the financial stuff as well. But I thought she was pretty solid. What I really liked about her was her dry delivery throughout the entire movie. Like she seems so nonchalant about all this ghost stuff happening, and she's more concerned about if she's getting paid enough to do this job. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then I also liked that she's trying to flirt with Egon throughout the entire film. It's funny that she falls for Egon out of all people. The really awkward science person that's antisocial. Like Janine falls for him. So I thought it was kind of funny and kind of cute how much Janine's trying to get Egon to notice her and stuff like that.
I read a lot myself. Some people think I'm too intellectual, but I think it's a fabulous way to spend your spare time. I also play racquetball. Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
And I think, I buy it. I ship them. I hoped in future movies they would develop that a little bit more, but we'll get to that when we get there. But another person that surprised me, I didn't really expect her to be in this movie, is Sigourney Weaver as Dana. Now, not to say that, she hasn't done sci-fi stuff before. Obviously, she's from Aliens and Avatar and stuff like that. So, she's not a stranger to science fiction type movies. But what really surprised me is that they just wanted her to play a regular woman. She's not an action star in this movie. She's just a regular person, and she encounters these supernatural threats in her apartment, and she has to go to the Ghostbusters for help. And I liked her as that. I thought she was pretty good, and I really liked her chemistry with Venkman in the movie, because Venkman ends up falling for her. And Dana's like, yeah, I don't know, man. You seem like a womanizer. I don't think this is gonna work out. But of course, Venkman is persistent, and I just really like their chemistry back and forth. I found it really endearing. Though even though she plays a regular woman in this film, like she is able to stretch her range later on in the film when she eventually get taken over by the spiritual entity and becomes the gatekeeper. That whole thing, that was crazy. That was nuts. Like there's some stuff that she does later on in the movie that reminds me of some of her performance from the Alien movies. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Then there's Rick Moranis as Lewis. He's okay. He's all right. I mean, he's the goofy nerd that's a neighbor of Dana, and you obviously could tell that he has a crush on her and stuff like that. And there's this running gag of whenever Dana comes home, Lewis would listen through his door and then come out and says hi to Dana, and then he locks himself out of his apartment. That's an ongoing thing in the movie, which it was funny the first couple times, but the more they did it, like the more it started getting okay. All right, dude. I think we ran the joke long enough. But Lewis, he's okay. I know there's probably some fans of Lewis out there. I think he's really funny, and I do like Rick Moranis. I think he's really funny. But just like this role, I don't know, just didn't do too much for me. But once again, when he also gets possessed by spirit, and he becomes the key master. He starts to get a little bit more entertaining at that point. But other than that, he's just the awkward geek that's just talks about his work too much or whatever, and he thinks he's the coolest guy in town, even though he's such a dork. And then so one thing that I just realized when recently watching this, because when Dana becomes the gatekeeper, and then Lewis becomes the key master, I just realized the hidden joke in that. Like, how did I just realize that? This movie is just so fun. It's kind of cool, I mean, I wish there was a more professional way to describe this movie, but it's like down to its core, it's just such a fun movie. It's the stuff in this film is just so interesting. It's so fun to watch. Like down to like how the ghosts look. Like I really like how unique and creative they were with some of the ghost designs. Some of them, they look like regular people. Some of them look like monsters, and some of them look cartoony. And they all work in the world that they establish. And it's like they have different colors, different abilities and stuff like that. So it's just really, really creative. One of the popular ghosts in the movie, Slimer, though the green one. I thought it was cool. I think the effects for his ghosts hold up pretty well.
It's right here, Ray. It's looking at me.
He's an ugly little spud, isn't he?
I think he can hear you, Ray.
Don't move. It won't hurt you. Batman, what happened? Are you okay?
He slimed me.
I would say for most of the ghost effects in this movie, this came out in 1984, and like most of them hold up pretty well. There's a couple of them where it does look kind of dated. Let's admit. Specifically with the hell hounds in the movie, when they're running around, it's like, okay, that doesn't look like it's actually there. That's probably the only one that really stood out to me. But all the other ghosts in the movie, I thought they looked pretty cool. And then also I really like the technology that the Ghostbusters have. They have the iconic proton pack. I thought that was a really cool piece of technology they have. And when the streams come out, that's a really cool effect, and the sounds that they make. It really holds up today. It came out in 1984, and most of the effects in this film hold up really, really well. And of course, you got to talk about the Ecto-1, their iconic Ghostbusters car. Such a cool car, man. And I also like the sirens that it has. It's when you hear that siren, it's the Ecto-1. and it has a whole bunch of lights on top of the car and stuff like that. It's like it's so cool, so cool. I liked how colorful it is. I liked how zany it is. That's another way that, you know, Ghostbusters feels unique. They're not afraid to be zany and over the top, but you know, they treat it seriously. Like, that's another thing I appreciate with this film, is that, you know, while it does have zany and over the top stuff happening in the film, it's not really a kid's movie. Like, it feels like an adult horror comedy, you know, because there's actually adult jokes in the movie, and there's adult situations, and like, even with some of the ghosts, there's some scary moments in this film. Like, it's not stuff that'll give you nightmares, but, you know, there's stuff in this film that is unsettling. But, you know, with a goofy concept like Ghostbusters, like, they didn't dumb it down for the audience. Like, the cast is taking the situation seriously. Like, they actually get in really dangerous situations, and, you know, if you had your kids sit down and watch this, I think they'll be fine. But it's like, you know, they didn't really treat it like a kids movie, which is like, I feel like, you know, with the future Ghostbusters films, that's something that they kind of lost. Like, they were trying to appeal more to kids with the other Ghostbusters movies, but this one is like, no, it's like it's an adult film that's kid friendly. So that's what I appreciated about the film. And then talking about the main ghost villain of the movie, Gozer, freaking awesome. Like, her design in the movie, like, she's freaking sick, man. It's like, she has such a presence in this film. Like, she doesn't even show up to like the last 20 minutes of the movie, but like, you felt her presence throughout the entire film, especially with the gatekeeper and the keymaster and the hellhounds and all the crazy stuff happening in Dana's apartment. So it's like, they did build up this character pretty well, even though you don't see her till like the last act of the movie. But when she shows up, you know, it's pretty cool. Like I said, like, I just really like her design and her abilities, and like, I like that the Ghostbusters didn't even know what to do. Of course, you have that iconically funny scene where Ray is confronting Gozer and telling her to surrender, and then Gozer asked him, "Are you a god?" And then Ray's like, no." "Then die."
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Just gold, man. Absolute gold. And then the Ghostbusters use their proton packs and zaps Gozer with it, and then she disappears, and then they think they got him, and then Gozer, out of apparition, whatever, says for them to choose the form of the destroyer, which means like whatever comes up and whatever they think about in their heads, like, that's going to become the form of what's going to destroy the city. And then Ray, out of nowhere, thinks of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Freaking nuts. Like, a marshmallow man, like, destroying the city. Like, they went there, and you know what? I bought it. It worked. Like, it was zany, it was crazy, but, you know, it was still a lot of fun to watch. And it's like, the marshmallow man was actually it was kind of creepy in that scene as well. It was like, I didn't expect that. You know, Ghostbusters really going all out with these weird concepts. I just love it. I love it. Like, the movie is so funny. Like, I love the witty banter. I like some of the slapstick. Like, you know, the humor for this is done really, really well. And it's like, they were able to balance the comedy with, you know, the scary stuff happening. Like, you didn't feel like it overpowered the film. You were still able to take the movie seriously when it came to some of the more dangerous situations with the ghosts. But it's like, you know, the movie wasn't afraid to have fun. And that's what I really appreciated about it. It was able to have fun, but, you know, they still took the world seriously. You know, when it comes to the rules with the ghost and, you know, all the scary, all supernatural stuff happening. It's like they established the world really, really well, where you can buy almost everything that happens in the movie. So I like that as well. And then like they even face stuff with, you know, with the city. Like there was that environmentalist agent that tried to shut them down because they questioned how they're able to trap all these ghosts in one place, and it's like, is that a threat to the environment, their technology or whatever? Which I'll admit, that was kind of dumb, but that would actually be a real life concern if we actually had Ghostbusters in real life. Like, you're containing all these ghosts in one place, and it's like if something bad happens with that would actually threaten the city, and it does actually end up happening when they release the ghost out of the containment unit. Like, literally cause a massive explosion and all the ghosts start haunting the city and stuff like that. So yeah, I just really found myself invested in all that going on. And like I said before, the song is iconic. Like, I think everyone knows this song by now. Like, I can't play it because of copyright reasons, but you know, everyone knows the theme. It's, you know, it's such a cool song. Like, it gets in your head immediately. And yeah, just the music overall in this film I liked as well. But yeah, like overall, this is such a fun movie. I really enjoyed this. You know, I really like the cast. You know, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Harold Ramis, Sigourney Weaver. I thought all of them really good. Rick Moranis was okay. But you know, just overall the cast I thought was really enjoyable. They really helped buy into this, you know, crazy, kooky world with ghosts. I really like the technology that the Ghostbusters have. I love the proton packs. I love the car. I love their base of operations in a fire department. It's like they literally took like a firefighter department and turned it into their, you know, their base, which I thought was cool. But yeah, I love their tech. I love the ghost designs. I love, you know, just all the ghost design looks cool and they're unique. And the main villain, Gozer, I thought was a really good villain for the film. Like, I would watch it every Halloween, and like I probably watch it more than once every year. Like, it's such a fun movie. So I will say that Ghostbusters 1984 is greatness. So that's my thoughts on Ghostbusters. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below and let me know. The next Ghostbusters film I will be talking about is Ghostbusters 2. So tune in for that when it comes out. If you guys enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell if you want to be notified on future videos I'll be doing. But that's all I have for you Ghostbusters fans, and I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. And remember, I ain't afraid of no ghosts.